In this video, we're going to talk about how to keep your joints healthy long-term, especially if it's after the age of 50. We end up having problems with our joints. We end up getting arthritis, and those problems progress and cause us issues that we end up going to the doctor for. And a lot of times people are having surgery when they can prevent it. So in this clip, we're going to be talking about how to prevent those problems, what to pay attention to specifically in the neck and the shoulder. And this is a presentation that I did for a large group of people where you can get to understand the biomechanics of the joints, and you can do a deep dive and you get to learn a lot. So we'll see you in the video. The most important thing we do with life is movement. We stay active. It's easier to stay active than to get active again. We got to make sure we're using all the right muscles. Now, the studies have shown that after the age of 30, you lose 3 to 8% of your muscle mass. But then after the age of 50, we lose 1% every year. And that, if we're not doing something about that, then we're getting weaker and gravity's beating up on us every day. And that's where we start having problems on a daily basis. They keep spiking up. Now, what happens as we age, our body takes the path of least resistance. Now, in the neck, C5 and C6, does anybody have bulging discs in their neck? So C5 and C6 is the most bulged disc in the neck. It's very common. And then L4 and L5, low back issues, L4, 5, right? And so why is it that we have problems in the same spot and all of us have the same problems, right? 80, 90% of us have the same problems in those areas. And it has a ton to do with it. This is a stable segment. And then I start moving just above that. So C5 and C6. And then the same thing, the pelvis is stable. And then I start moving just above that. So it creates a hypermobility. We move too much in those areas and then we get too much wear and tear. Knowing osteoporosis, osteopenia. Osteopenia is like a rubbery bone. Osteoporosis is like weakness in the bone, right? So now Wolff's Law is that when we put load on it, our body's going to react to that and start getting more dense bone tissue. And then Sherrington's Law is actually reciprocal inhibition. If I fire my bicep as hard as I can, my tricep has to be loose. So if our hip flexors are tight, then our butt doesn't fire. If our chest is tight and we get stuck in a bad position, we call it the office gremlin, right? We're sitting at computers, we're sitting in the car, we're sitting eating, and we're also looking at our cell phones now. So reciprocal inhibition, if we're tight in all those muscles, it inhibits the function of the muscles on the back, and everything in our life is in front of us. So we are feeding those muscles too much. We have to have a clear plan of what to do to get us out of those positions. Now, so recapping on keys for inflammation, we've got to get mobile or stay mobile. And then when we increase mobility, we have to take that up by getting strength. So if I can pull my arms out to here and I don't get stronger in this position, then I'm going to fold back up again. So there's always a relationship. We can increase mobility faster, but then we've got to get stability behind it if we're going to keep it. And anything you're doing work on, it takes time to build up that strength. So we can increase mobility fast, but we've got to be hitting it with stability exercises as well. We try to shorten it. We want you to be doing something 10 minutes a day that's positive for you so that you can go do the activities that you want to do on a daily basis. And then inflammatory molecules. So we have pro-inflammatory molecules when like macrophages are like little Pac-Men that go eat up bad tissue. So they're pro-inflammatory at one stage and then they become anti-inflammatory because they want to move that out of there. So it's really about exchanging molecules, and that flow of molecules is really important. If we have pro-inflammatory molecules, that's like tendinitis, like where it just doesn't go away. So our body festers and it loses that flip to anti-inflammatory. So we want to get more of a flow of, get that fluid flowing in and out is really important. And then maintain increased activity levels yesterday, right? So we just got to get on it and be progressive with that. And then rinse and repeat, steps 1 through 4. Now, okay, so this is a big one. So this is a decentrated joint, and we can take most of our joint problems to this. So you have all these muscles around the joint. But if the joint is grinding, our cartilage is around the bone, underneath in the joint capsule. If the bone is pressing on that cartilage, the cartilage is like a sponge. So when we squeeze out a sponge, the fluid comes out. But if it's sitting in a bowl, then it'll suck that fluid back up. When we have a decentrated joint like this, so it's grinding right here, it's going to squeeze that fluid out of the cartilage, and then it stays out of the cartilage. So that exchange of fluid is really important. It's synovial fluid in the joint. And so we're going to have problems with Wolff's Law. It'd be an increase of bone growth. Has anybody been told they have bone spurs? Right? So yeah, bone spurs. So that's where our body's reacting to it. That is Wolff's Law. Wolff's Law can be a positive for us, or it can be a negative, right? And so we want to make it positive for us. And we do that by getting a centrated joint. We want space right here. So you see all the green? That looks really nice. Does anybody think all their joints look like that? No, me neither. So your body's reacting to pressure and stress that's put on it, and so it starts to produce more bone, right? In arthritis, a lot of times arthritis, it just looks like little bone spurs that are building up. You know? And they are going to take up space that we really need for that joint to move normally. So we've got to do it by increasing space, increasing mobility, and then putting stability behind it, and then we get balance in the joint. So it's really important what muscles we're activating so that we get space through the whole movement pattern. If you like that video, then you can check out the full presentation here. And then also we have another video about fixing knee pain and stiffness, and you can check that out here.